My daily affirmations. I know who I am. I'm the selector, the director, the guide, the pattern maker, the blueprint of all unlimited, unformed yet also powerful blend. Completely obeying infinite energy, which every instant of my life flows through my mind. I am the eyes, the fingertips, the consciousness of infinite energy. I am the sole ruler and the absolute monarch of that infinite energy which flows through my mind. That infinite energy is my omnipotent and willing servant that follows exactly my every order. My words and my thoughts and my emotions from the infinite energy into the conditions and circumstances of my life, my environment. That all-powerful infinite energy is constantly and precisely fulfilling and transforming my words and thoughts and emotions into their physical counterparts. No words or thoughts or emotions of mine have ever returned to me unfulfilled. Therefore, I am always exceedingly careful that all my words and thoughts and emotions are beneficial, positive, constructive, and specific in all their aspects. By guiding and directing that infinite energy, forever flowing through my mind with words and thoughts and emotions which are beneficial, positive, constructive, and specific, I bless myself with perfect health, with ever-renewing life, with exhaustible vitality, with everlasting youthfulness, with wisdom and understanding, with wealth and prosperity, happiness, and overwhelming abundance of all the other good things of life. But also, I bless my fellow beings with beneficial, positive, constructive, and specific words, thoughts, and emotions, and also with gifts of money, of service, and aid, and help, and love, and praise, and acknowledgement. And I still get to claim my tenfold return to all these from infinite intelligence, as in both my privilege and my duty as a conscious expression that infinite intelligence is. That always obedient and powerful infinite energy, which flows constantly through my mind, always brings my tenfold return back to me because I deserve it daily. My capacity to receive increases and expands and magnifies. All good completely fills my life and my environment, and the life and environments of my fellow beings as well. I am that I am, and I am so grateful for her. So I am, and so it is. Namaste. Welcome to the channel, guys. So what you heard was just an excerpt from John Hosher's Seed Money. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. In case this is your first time on the channel, or you've never experienced Manifestation Coach Keyonna Divine before, welcome. I am your manifestation coach, your accountability partner. I am a life coach, and my specialty happens to be manifesting. Yes. So every day, all day, I help women design and create the perfect lives for themselves. Now, this is everything from each of the 10 dimensions of wellness. And our 10 dimensions of wellness are all the compartments of our lives. Most of the women that I assist have the money aspect down packed. So they're looking for clarity in other areas of their lives. But all of our 10 dimensions are able to be balanced balanced for us in our lives. And that is what I specialize in helping you do. So today we are talking about Seed Money. Seed Money is a book. I will link it for you in the description box below, as well as the audiobook in case you'd like to listen to the audiobook instead of getting the physical copy of the book. Now, I do have a book club, which is Divine Book Club, and this video will be offered on Divine Book Club as well. Now, back to what we were talking about before. In the beginning of the video, you heard an excerpt, which is an affirmation that you can repeat every single day, and it came from Seed Money, okay? Now, Seed Money is a very short read, but it is packed with an idea that we are all familiar with, that we've practiced in our lives, that perhaps we're not practicing right now. And as I was reading this book, it really made me think about how religion is. I'm so happy that I experienced growing up a part of the religion, because the Bible says if you raise a child in the way of God, of the Lord, he or she will never depart far from it. Okay? Which means if you teach your children, or you know the word, you teach the word, even if you're not overly religious, what you do know you will apply in your life, and it will be natural. Okay? Um, and to me, that's a really big deal, because being a part of a religion at such an early age allowed me to tap into my conscious mind. It also instilled some really great qualities in me, like tithing. Now, as a young Christian girl, I knew that it was very imperative to tithe my 10%. Okay. And I knew that it was important to plant the seeds, but I didn't know how relevant it was, like I know that it's relevant now. I look at all the great leaders that are around me, all of my coaches, all of my mentors, all the millionaires that I'm around, and it is a regular thing to plant seeds. Planting monetary seeds, planting time seeds, planting attention seeds, blessing individuals, giving things away. One of my coaches, every time she wants to move from one tax bracket to another, she gives away wallets. Another one of my coaches, when she wants to, my mentor is, when she wants to move things and shake things up, she gives away her work for free, like free courses and free books. These people that are millionaires and billionaires are very generous people. They keep their books on hand, and they bless people with their books. They keep all their products on hand, and they give these products out. They keep their knowledge on hand, and they're willing to sit with you for free 99 and give you the information that they know. And why is this relevant to me in my life? Because I want to be great. I want to leave an impact on this world. It's also very relevant in my life because I am in the time where I am creating a lot of different formulas for my life. In addition to those formulas, I am also guiding my tribe down the road of profiting from your problems. So I have a course, and it is called From the Diary of a Multimillionaire: How to Profit from Your Problems. And it specifically talks about profiting from your problems. Okay, we have we have workshops within that course that demonstrates or illustrates how to profit from specific problems. Now in the journey, not only are we building upon profiting from your problems and your difficulties, but we're also talking about how to profit from your sacrifices, right? And a sacrifice is something that you give up, or an investment that you make that is a bit uncomfortable in order to provide you future circumstances, right? So this book, Seed Money, talks about that in a way of investing your time with other people, doing favors for other people, planting monetary seeds for other people, and it's relevant to what we need in our lives. My mentor, she says, I will never be broke another day in my life. I will never be broke another day in my life. Why will I not be broke another day in my life? Because I know how to get the money. I have the money, first of all. I had the money before. I lost the money. I know how to go back and get the money. Plus, I have too many rich friends to be broke another day in my life. Now, I saw all of those as very valid points because they make a valid point. But beyond that, there is a science about this, and it is called the Law of Tenfold. Okay? And the law of 10x, Grant Cardone, or tenfold basically says that if you use a certain formula, you create intention behind it, and you actually believe that whenever you sacrifice, give up something, or invest into something, it can and will come back to you tenfold. Okay? So today we're going to be talking about the principles within this book, as well as giving you a different outlook on how you can use this information for your daily life. So my intentions with this information is for it to bless you so that you can bless others tenfold, including myself. Okay? So with everything, what I've learned more than anything now is to, and I've been learning this over the years, but it really makes a big difference now with this new information that I've discovered. It is to state intentions with everything. What do you want from the thing that you're sacrificing? And to do something above and beyond who you normally are, or to do something with the intent to help someone else, is a sacrifice. Is a sacrifice. And with your sacrifices, you should profit from those sacrifices. You should profit from being the good human being that you are, because at the end of the day, all things are working out for you. Now, while going through this information, I don't want us to be so basic that we think that the rules or the principles in this piece of work is specifically talking about money just because it speaks of seed money. All right. So if we think outside of the box and we really take the principles that this piece of work has to offer, we see that these principles, they work, and they can work in every area of our lives. And what are the areas of our lives? There are 10 key areas of our lives, and I'll go over those with you. We have the spiritual dimension, and I call them the 10 dimensions of wellness. We have the spiritual dimension, the social dimension. We have the creative dimension, the material dimension. We have the physical health dimension, the mental health dimension. We have our financial dimension and our occupational dimension. We have our intellectual dimension, and last but not least, our environmental dimension. Now, these are all the areas in our lives, the major compartments in our lives. And within those compartments, we have smaller compartments in our lives, smaller compartments under those that would just basically cover everything. So with seed money, this concept can work for any area of your life. The basic concept is, if there's something that you want, you plant a seed for it, monitor it, water it, provide maintenance for it, and watch it grow. The expectation is for it to grow. Your belief is for it to grow. So this could work in any of the 10 dimensions of wellness in your life. If you want better relationships, think about what seed you can plant in order to eventually one day have a harvest. You want more money, a better job, a better spiritual connection. It all starts with not a whole bunch, but just one seed being planted, having some attention on it, maintaining it as best as you possibly can, and expecting it, aka believing that it will grow. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to break down the formula for you that was offered in this book. It was 7 different steps, okay? This is a great time for you to get your pen and papers out so that you can not only learn the information, but write down the information so that you can try the formula so you can activate it in your life and make it a part of your life, okay? So step 1 in the formula is to plant the seed money. Okay, so plant the seed. What is your seed going to be? This could be a money seed or a seed in another area of your life. So plant the seed. Sacrifice, give it away, donate it, or whatever. When you do this, do it, or if someone asks for it, only give it if you have it in your heart to do. I know we've heard this many times, but think about this. How many homeless people do you see homeless people on a regular basis? Think about it. When's the last time you saw a homeless person? Do you believe that you are the creator of your own reality? Do you believe that you attract everything that you see, hear, smell, taste, touch, do? Do you believe that you attract it all? Do you believe that everything is energetic, everything is magnetic, and that magnets attract others, and you somehow come together, you beam together, you're on the same frequency at the same time? Okay? Do you believe that? The law of attraction says like energy attracts like energy. So everything that you're experiencing, all the problems, everything that you see, everything that you hear, everything that you smell, everything that's around you, you somehow attracted it. Do you believe that? If you do, then we can continue on to the next level. Every homeless person that you've encountered, you've attracted. Why? Every person that has asked you for money, begged you, this, that, and the other, you have attracted in your life. Now, what if every time you see a homeless person, you feel that it is a blessing because they are making themselves known in your presence for you to bless them, for the universe to bless you, or for God to bless you? What about that concept? See, this all comes down to self-development and realizing that all things are working out for me at all times, no matter how they look. How can I profit from these things happening to me, or how can I profit from these things coming into my experience? Well, from now on, I want you to profit from seeing a homeless person or seeing a person in need or having a person in need around you. It's your time to profit from this. It's your time to be excited and thrilled and feel like you're connected when you experience this person in your presence. Not feeling like, oh my God, they smell so bad, they look so bad. Why are they asking me for this, that, and the other? It is a privilege. It is an honor for you to have attracted that person in your world so that you can bless them, because the universe is knocking on your door and ready to bless you tenfold. That is your cue that it is time for you to move on up. But it's all about your perspective. Man is maker of his own reality through his daily ideas and choices. His decisions and his thoughts, his actions and his rituals, his perspective and his perception, his beliefs, his attention and his knowledge. See, you didn't know this before. Because when you know better, you do better. You didn't have this perspective, this perception before. You didn't have these beliefs that I'm offering you right now before. But it is so true that all things are working out for your benefit. Your task is to be focused and to want something. And while you're on the path to get what it is that you want, be conscious and aware enough to know that even when it's not put in a pretty package, it's still for you. It's still a way for you to benefit. Do you see it? One is plant the seed. Plant the seed. I'm planting this seed. I'm planting this seed knowing that this is going to change millions of people's lives, knowing that this is going to impact the world, knowing that no one has broken down this information and has been able to articulate it the way that I can for the people who are on my vibrational frequency. Step 2, cultivate your claim. This means state your intention. Number 2 is to state your intention. I have received. I have, not I want or I desire, because that is like future tense. But have is right now, it's present tense. I have X amount of dollars, or I have this specific thing, whatever it is. I have blank tenfold. So mine is going to be, I have $10,000 tenfold. Good to all concerned. With good to all concerned. And he added this on as a way of saying that I don't want anybody else to do without or to sacrifice or to get in an accident or to die in order for me to manifest what it is that I want. I don't want it to come on someone else's detriment. I want to be abundant while still allowing them to be abundant. So again, cultivate your claim using the statement of intention. I have blank tenfold with good to all. Step number 3 is to repeat this same formula over and over and over again throughout the day, throughout the night, allowing your subconscious mind to pick up on it so that you can get more comfortable with it and so that it could be more of a reality for you. Okay? So repeat this over and over and over and over and over again in order to get comfortable with the idea that this is coming into your world. Now, step 4 is, I believe step 4 should have come before step 2, but this is just from my perspective. But step 4 is to start your request at a believable amount. So if you are requesting a certain amount of money, make it a believable amount of money. So if I'm going to say I have received $10,000 tenfold with good to all concerned. $10,000, does that seem like a believable amount of money to me? Am I used to seeing the figure of $10,000? Yes, I'm totally comfortable. Like I would not freak out. Oh, I have $10,000. Okay, of course I'm going to be very grateful. But knowing that I manifested this and knowing that this amount of money, I'm used to having this amount of money around me, I'm comfortable with it. So when you're thinking about what it is that you want to manifest, make it believable for you. Now, am I to the point in my life to where I'm comfortable with manifesting $1 million coming at my doorstep? I'm not there yet. I know that that's coming for me, but it seems like, oh, like I would still get super duper excited. And there's nothing wrong with getting excited. Is it in your wavelength? So you want to have your target, your goal, your desire, what you're manifesting to be something believable for you. Now, I want to pause right here and I want to talk about the SMART goals because this reminds me a lot of the SMART goals. And yeah, let's go over what a SMART goal is. So a SMART goal is SMART, right? The S stands for a specific. So very specific, like not a range or a broad amount, very specific. M stands for measurable. And this just determines, are you able to measure if you're getting closer to your goal or not? Do you have a specific date set for your goal? Is it a number that could validate if you're getting closer to your goal or not. Depending on what your goal is, that may be a yay or a nay, but we need to be able to measure the progress within your goal. If this was weight, the scale would be able to tell you if you're getting closer to your goal. So just keep that in mind. The A stands for achievable. Is this thing achievable for you? Is it realistic? R is relevant. Is this relevant for the big picture for you? Okay. So when you're thinking about what it is you want to manifest, I would say use the SMART formula, and that is being very specific. Think about if it's relevant to the big picture, or are you just playing with your manifestations. Either way, it's cool, but it would be very beneficial for your manifestations to make you better, you know? The T is for a timely manner. You have to put a time on it. So I have $10,000 by tomorrow at noon. It would be something like that. So I like to, it may be beneficial for you to use the SMART goal formula when thinking about what it is that you're going to manifest, okay? Now, step number 5 that he offered here is don't tell anybody about what it is that you're doing. Just keep it to yourself, mainly because negative vibrational frequencies, other people's input, different opinions is not necessary in order for you to manifest what it is that you want. Step number 6 is the daily affirmation that I offered to you in the beginning. By the way, I have created a sleep meditation for this, so you can hear this the first hour of your sleep to affirm who you really are. So I'll go ahead and insert the affirmation right here again. It's only a couple of minutes long so that you can kind of get the groove of what it is and perhaps write it down. I also will include the notes or the copy of the affirmation in the description box below. So that will be a great way for you to use this in your daily life. My daily affirmations. I know who I am. I'm the selector, the director, the guide, the pattern maker, the blueprint of all unlimited, unformed yet also powerful blend. Completely obeying infinite energy, which every instant of my life flows through my mind. I am the eyes, the fingertips, the consciousness of infinite energy. I am the sole ruler and the absolute monarch of that infinite energy which flows through my mind. That infinite energy is my omnipotent and willing servant that follows exactly my every order. My words and my thoughts and my emotions from the infinite energy into the conditions and circumstances of my life, my environment. That all-powerful infinite energy is constantly and precisely fulfilling and transforming my words and thoughts and emotions into their physical counterparts. No words or thoughts or emotions of mine have ever returned to me unfulfilled. Therefore, I am always exceedingly careful that all my words and thoughts and emotions are beneficial, positive, constructive, and specific in all their aspects. By guiding and directing that infinite energy, forever flowing through my mind with words and thoughts and emotions which are beneficial, positive, constructive, and specific, I bless myself with perfect health, with ever-renewing life, with exhaustible vitality, with everlasting youthfulness, with wisdom and understanding, with wealth and prosperity, happiness, and overwhelming abundance of all the other good things of life. But also, I bless my fellow beings with beneficial, positive, constructive, and specific words, thoughts, and emotions, and also with gifts of money, of service, and aid, and help, and love, and praise, and acknowledgement. And I still get to claim my tenfold return to all these from infinite intelligence, as in both my privilege and my duty as a conscious expression that infinite intelligence is. That always obedient and powerful infinite energy, which flows constantly through my mind, always brings my tenfold return back to me. Back to me because I deserve it daily. My capacity to receive increases and expands and magnifies. All good completely fills my life and my environment, and the life and environment of my fellow beings as well. I am that I am, and I am so grateful for her. So I am, and so it is. Namaste. Also included a podcast version of this in case you'd like to share it with others. And I will also link the podcast in the description box below. Okay. Step number 7 is to make sure that when you give your gift or your donation, your offering, your sacrifice over, make sure that you're doing it with great intentions, not when are you going to pay me back? When are all of this type of stuff. It should be a way of freeing yourself and investing into your future to make sure that you are bold, confident, and happy, and that your vibrational frequency is high. Okay, so those are the 7 steps to the formula, what is known as the tenfold law. Now, let me specifically give you the definition of the tenfold law. So the law of tenfold, which was offered in Seed Money, says that when you think that you may get your tenfold return from your seed money, you won't. When you think it, okay? Now, when you believe that you'll get your tenfold return from your seed money, you will. What is a belief? A belief is a practiced thought, a thought that you practice over and over and over and over and over again, so much that you believe that it is true. So that's why step number 3 was to repeat this formula over and over and over again, to repeat your claim over and over and over again, to familiarize yourself with it so you can get comfortable with it and you can actually believe it. The law of tenfold return does not only work here and now, but forevermore in the future. So that is the law of tenfold. Okay, so now I want to touch on a little bit of how this concept differs from religion, just a tad bit. So growing up as a young Christian gal, I grew up knowing that you had to give money when you went to church. $1, $5, whatever. As I got older, I felt convicted to give 10%. 10% of my income tax return, 10% of whatever money was coming into my house. Whoever I was dating, they needed to give 10% as well. And if I was not giving that 10%, then I was sinning. I was going against the rules of the Bible and the religion, right? So it became a conviction. Now, how this idea or principle or formula differs is because this is not saying that you should be convicted, that you have to, or you're sinning, or you have to, or good things are not going to come from you. This is saying, wouldn't it be wonderful if whenever you were presented with the opportunity, you saw it as an opportunity, as a benefit for you to bless someone else? Because just like when you work with forgiveness, they say you're not forgiving the person for the other person, you're forgiving it for yourself. Because if you don't forgive it for yourself, the idea will eat up your conscious mind. It's kind of like the same idea of that, perhaps, the idea of knowing that there is like a backstory behind it. And if you are aligned, which means if you are connected, if you are whole and complete at that time, wouldn't it be an honor or a privilege for you to do so? But perhaps if you don't do so, it's not like karma is going to come back on you, or God is going to hunt you down because you should have done this, you should have followed the rules. It's no, you just weren't open to that opportunity, and you kind of missed that opportunity to bless someone else. So your blessing that you could have experienced coming from that direction, it's not going to be there, but you're going to get a ton of other ways, a ton of other options and opportunities to allow blessings to come into your world. We do every day. We do every day when we do kind gestures, when we hold the door for someone, when we pay for the person's food that's behind us or in front of us, when we offer to pump someone's gas for them, when we bring someone coffee, when we pay our bills. What I want you to come to is that this whole thing is about a sacrifice. Planting a seed is a sacrifice because this seed will not harvest right now. You actually have to wait. It's a test on you, on your integrity, on your patience, and it's kind of like a game to see how many seeds you can go around and plant so that you can always expect for things to work out for you. So you can always expect not to be broke another day in your life because you have so many harvests, so many seeds that you've planted in the world that there's always something popping up for you to eat off of. There's always something coming up for you to survive off of or for you to relish off of. So that is just my interpretation on how this is different from the rules of religion versus the freedom that you have that will perhaps bring you to a different understanding of this being a privilege, this is being a rite of passage, this being a route for me to manifest what it is that I want in my world versus a duty and obligation in something that you have to do. Okay, so I do like audience participation. I am going to go under one of the audio versions of this book and read some of the comments, different perspectives, different outlooks that, a few people had to say. So Teresa says, I have lived 74 years and I have practiced this more and more as I grew older. I have received tenfold returns and more, but not always in money. That's a good one. But in services or gifts. I'm constantly amazed at how perfect my needs have been fulfilled. And just when you don't see any possible way a need could be fulfilled, it is. Have faith and practice it. This makes complete, it says, this makes and completes the circuit of energy and strengthens it. I love that Teresa pointed out that the things that we receive may not come back the same way we planted them. So, with this, as I'm giving you this information and I am sacrificing my time and my energy, although this is my work and I love to do it, I am offering you these offerings at no charge at all. So, this is my way of serving and giving. I am not limiting myself for my gift or my tenfold to come back in the form of education or information or even from these particular platforms. I am leaving it up to the universe, to the God within me, to my attraction and my energy to be able to see where I need the blessings at in my life and be able to apply them there. So just because you give money, it does not have to be money that you receive. Just because you give your time, it does not have to be time that you receive. If you give an offering for food, it doesn't mean that you'll receive food. That's why it is a fun thing to practice so that you can keep your antennas alert to see what areas are you being blessed in. It's like, oh, how am I going to be blessed today? What is going to happen today for me that's so exciting? What am I going to discover today? How am I going to receive a harvest from some of the things that I have, from some of the seeds that I have planted? Okay, so Vera Jones says every family has that one person who will break the family financial struggle. I hope you become the one. So nice. Okay. Mindful Gardener says, so I had guilt about this method because I didn't like the idea of giving only to claim what I get in return. Ooh, I'm so happy that they said that because this is a guilt that most religious, or maybe I should say specifically Christians, would feel because of the Bible. They say, give because you want to give, don't give to receive. Okay, we've been taught that, and I lived with that for so many years. But now I see things a bit different. I feel like me giving is a test. Am I going to pass the test or not? And it's a self-test. It has nothing to do with judgment outside of myself. It has something to do with me. Am I aligned? But I got over the idea of not giving to just give. I got over that because what I've learned throughout my teachings is everything should be with intention. The way that you play this game of life and you play it effectively is you create intentions behind it. When you are investing into the stock market, you have an intention. You have an intention for your money to grow. When you put your money in a savings account, you have an intention for your money to be safe, as well as to grow a couple of dollars every year. So why is it that when I give something over, why is it when I sacrifice and take away from my family, or take away from my free spending, or take time, use my time, that I should not do with I should not do this with the intention of with any intention, in addition to the intention being to for you to be well off and for you to be better, for your circumstances to be better, and for me to help you. What about me? What am I getting out of it? Now, this doesn't go to say, here, I'm going to purchase you just this lipstick, but what am I going to get out of it? No, I'm purchasing you this lipstick because I want to. And to myself, I am going to say, I have $100. What is it? It is, gotta get comfortable with it. It is, I have received $100 tenfold with good to all concerned. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because the lipstick cost $10, and 10 times 10 is 100. So it's not like I'm going to say that to your face, but why can't I have my own quiet intentions? So I think that was a great point that probably many people, have rehearsed in their head. She goes on to say, you always assume that we should give without the expectations of getting something in return. We should give because it helps others and feels good. So I had to find a way to accept this without guilt. I authentically enjoy helping others because it makes me feel good, which makes me vibrate higher, which puts me in a place to attract what I want in a higher frequency that is in tune with what I want. I also had to remind myself that if I give to a needy person, I'm not expecting that person to pay me in any way at all. I'm expecting and assuming that the universe or consciousness can give me the abundance. I claim it as a receipt for consciousness. Claiming makes you aware of what you assume you have. I love that. And it also boosts your confidence because it lets you know that you're on the right track. and that you are a good person. Like, so many times we don't know what our purpose is, but man is maker of his own reality. We can prove to ourselves and tell ourselves and remind ourselves every day what our purpose is. And if our purpose was just to bless that person, to help that person, we should be able to benefit from our sacrifice, giving ourselves a pat on the back and letting ourselves know that we are on the right path. I love it. She goes on to say, that's what the law of attraction does. It gives me what I focus on. So I let it be so, and the guilt is gone. I love it. I love it. All right. So Jalo says, I'm happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a consciously basis. I love money and I am a money magnet. Please affirm and you will see how your life change. Okay, and that is Bob Proctor. I believe that's Bob Proctor. Ashe. Okay, Heather says, a couple of years ago, I was at a store towards winter and I saw a young guy looking cold and miserable. I gave him all the cash I had, $100. When I went home, I brought a charity raffle ticket. I won $2,640. I continued to give, and a year later, almost to the day, I won $26,400 seriously. I didn't plan it. I gave randomly. My son is excited about the next installment, but I have gotten to the point to where it is completely unexpected, though I don't understand it. Well, you do understand it. You do. You might can't believe that it's like happening to you, but man is the maker of his own reality. A belief is a practice thought. You practice this formula. It worked for you. Now you believe it. It might be, but you do understand it, Heather. You do understand it. Okay. So, okay, Black Don't Crack says, God will always sow seeds in your kingdom. Thank you for my financial breakthrough and harvest. Amen. Amen. All right. Someone else says, is New Bold Spawn says, I'm thankful to have my mind prepared to receive higher blessings. I love the comment section. The comment section is so positive and uplifting, and everybody's speaking from their own perspectives. So there is no right or wrong way. It's just everybody in good graces and looking forward to abundance. Power Padre says, love this. As a Christian, I always wanted more guidance on financial goals, etc. I read Prayer Hacking with Nikola Tesla, and it changed my life. Okay, prayer hacking. That's interesting. I'm going to have to Google that. Tesla's father was a priest, and his 369 theory is very powerful. 369 is you say your manifestation, which you want to manifest, 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times in the evening. So it's kind of like a part of this same formula. On number 3, the third step in the formula is to repeat this over and over again. So you can incorporate Tesla's 369 formula. I don't know if it's Tesla's 369 formula, but the 369 formula in your life in order to, kind of program your subconscious mind. Okay, last comment. Okay, I have 2 more comments that I'll read. This one is by Robinson. It says, this is a great audiobook, possibly the most knowledgeable lesson I've learned yet. Okay. Well, stick with us and you're going to learn tons more. This is only one perspective, and it's an action-oriented way for you to manifest whatever it is that you want. Okay. Let's see. Lorena Denise Valverde says, this is by far the best piece of knowledge I've seen shared on YouTube. May it be shared tenfold. The word needs to hear and understand this. The world needs to hear and understand these teachings. Ashe. Okay, so let's get back into the lesson. So, like many self-help books, this book, Seed Money, it offers some of the same techniques that many of that we're all familiar with, such as visualization. He talks about visualization, affirmations. He teeter totters around sacrifice, um, and like claiming what it is that we want. Okay. He went through a lot of examples via storytelling, in order to get us more comfortable with the concepts, just like Florence Scovel did in The Game of Life and How to Play It. Florence Scovel's works is basically about storytelling and telling about her clients and how she helped different people do that. This book is on this in the same type of line as that. Um, I do want to talk about the visualization that he touched on. Now, he touched on the visualization of not manifesting what you want, but what you plan to do with the manifestation. So, if you are looking for a specific amount of money to pay a specific bill, not trying to figure out the how you're going to get the money or manifest the money to pay the specific bill, but how it's going to all play out. As an example, so this would be like, how are you going to celebrate, or what are you going to do? Can you visualize yourself going in there, to the place where you have to pay the bill? What are you going to wear? How are you going to smell? What is your attitude going to be like? And what does a teller look like, the person that you have to pay? What are the noises around you? What's the scenery? What type of music is playing? What type of aromas do you smell? How do you have your hair? What does your nails look like? Visualizing it, the whole situation, not necessarily how you're going to get the funds to pay the bills. So this is something. I recently did some work where we talked specifically about tapping into your imagination. And the quote that we used is, "My imagination is the gateway to all of my dreams." My imagination is the gateway to all of my dreams. And us stepping into our imagination allows us to tap into that childlike energy. And when I think of imagination, I think of visualization as well. Visualization is just maybe like a more grown up way of imagining. So we are able, but we should tap into all the outlets, all the powers that we have that actually make it so that all things are working out for us. Our imagination and the techniques of visualization is just another power that we have in order to manifest that in which we desire. And one of the great things about visualization is we get to carve it into what we would have it to be. We can avoid the mistakes and the pitfalls in our actual life if we play these things out visually. Let's talk about planting a seed is equivalent to sacrificing. It is equivalent to sacrificing because you're going to have to invest your time, your energy, perhaps your money, your water, and your mental to remember to take care of this seed. So planting this seed is not a one hitter quitter type of thing. Planting this seed is going to take a lot of your time. And where our attention goes, our energy flows. So what we do is when we decide to bring something into our world and we maintain it, that means we have to pay attention to it. The man is maker of his own reality through his daily attention. Where his attention goes, his energy flows. Where his energy flows, that thing will grow. Okay? That is just how it goes. When you direct your energy into something specific, it's going to be more than it actually is. And so that will be equivalent to a sacrifice, right? So if you're giving your energy and your time and your money and your mental capacity and your focus and your attention and your time and your water and all of these things to eventually one day harvest a seed that you don't have any guarantee that it's actually going to harvest outside of your previous experience. So the first time that you tried to harvest a seed, you put a seed in and it perhaps was a dud. So the next time you went to go plant a seed and you gave it all your attention and all your love, you planted 2 or 3 seeds because you said, okay, last time this one didn't work, I'm going to increase my chances of manifesting something, manifesting a harvest by putting 2 or 3 seeds in here. One of them has to catch, right? So your belief comes from your previous experiences, right? And all of this is balled up to be a sacrifice. Well, this whole workshop is about how to profit from your sacrifice, right? How to profit from your sacrifices. Outside of donating and giving to homeless people and charities and different things like that, you sacrifice on a regular basis. Okay? Some of the things you sacrifice is, like I said, your time. You sacrifice your time at the PTA meetings, investing into your future, listening to audiobooks, taking classes in your business. You know, you sacrifice your time driving. You sacrifice your time in these meetings. You sacrifice every day, all day. You're giving it an investment and you're not necessarily getting an immediate payoff. You're planting a seed, right? Sometimes it's you're watering the seed or maintaining the seed. You sacrifice on a regular basis every day. So why not position yourself in order to reap the benefits of those sacrifices? You have the power to, you just didn't have the knowledge. You did not know that because you are given these specific sacrifices that you can call manifestations into your world and you can call a specific manifestation to come out of which you are sacrificing. In addition to that, you sacrifice with your job, with the work that you do. If you are in the field of health, finances, all of this, especially with physical and mental health, which is kind of like the field that I'm in, you sacrifice a lot because it becomes personal. Most mentors and coaches that I have that are in the field of helping others are in that field because, for one, once they needed help, or for two, they've acquired a lot of knowledge and they need to be able to disperse it properly. So it's knowledge that they obtained that they needed in order to build them up in life. And they feel as if it's a shame for them to be where they are and not be able to give this information to other people. So the things that I speak on are the things that I am learning throughout my life on a regular basis. So right now, specifically in my life, I am learning I am learning how to profit not only from my problems, but profit from my sacrifices. Because I don't know if you've looked back on your life, if you've been in a situation where you've looked back on your life and you felt as though, just like when you glanced at it, you felt as though some of the things, or most of the things, or half of the things, whatever percentage of the things that you experience them in vain. And that is what makes my work so rewarding, because the work that I do, I needed all the experiences that I have experienced in order to be at the place where I am right now, in order to speak upon those things. So I'm in a state of allowing myself to profit from not only my past sacrifices, not only my present sacrifices, but also deliberately the future sacrifices that I am making. We sacrifice with the gifts that we give. When you send somebody flowers, or you send them a card, or you send them a love note, or whatever it is, the gifts that we give is a sacrifice. Remember, sacrifice and seeds are both in the same. I should say a sacrifice is kind of like an action in this instance in planting the seed, which is step one. So I'm letting you know, basically broadening your spectrum to let you know that you plant seeds all day long. Okay. Um, in addition to that, when you pay your bills, you're sacrificing, because you could choose to do something else. You could choose to be angry when you're paying this bill. You could choose to complain when you're paying these bills. But you're sacrificing yourself, your organization, your order, in order to, make sure that you are staying on the right path. This is a part of the sacrifices that you give. So I want you to really think about your day. Think about the work that you do, the volunteering that you do, the money that you give, all the ways you stretch yourself in order to, that allows you to sacrifice, right? This also does include paying your tithes, if you are a tithe payer, as well as doing random acts of kindness for people. Those are sacrifices. Now, what's missing from that? What's missing from that? The rest of the formula. Intention, for one, because the sacrifice or planting the seed is only step one. Step two is cultivating your claim, stating your intentions. I have received blank tenfold with good to all concerned. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And even with leaving that off, just stating your intention. I am doing this with the intention of blank, blank, that, and the other. Then number three, saying it over and over and over again so you can make yourself believe it periodically throughout the day. Number four is make sure that you have set believable expectations for yourself. Number five is affirming it, affirming who you are, the power that you actually possess, affirming it. Number five was actually don't tell anybody about what you're claiming. Number six was affirming who you are. And number seven is to remember to be in a stage of gratitude when you're sacrificing or when you are planting seeds. Okay, so I must say that I really enjoyed the perspective that John Hosher offered when putting this book together, because it is relevant even now in 2022. This is more of action-based things that can be done. My whole work is based off of designing and creating the perfect life for you. And if you are an action-oriented person, this is a way that you can sit back and evaluate your life to see where you're already sacrificing and begin to be intentional with your sacrificing, or you can deliberately start planting seeds in different places so that you can feel confident that you will never be broke another day in your life, so that you could be confident that you have everything that you need, that the universe or God always takes care of you and has your best interest at heart, so you can know that all things truly do work out for you. I am your manifestation coach, Keyonna Devon. I did not get to go through all of my notes, but I feel like we did kind of touch on everything, the main points, and I truly was inspired by this work, and I know that thousands and millions of you out there in space are going to be touched by this work as well, and just seeing things from a different perspective. And remember that seed money is just not focused on that paper that we call a dollar or that metal that we call a coin. It works in all aspects of your life. I will leave for the book, the meditation, and the affirmation in the description box below. Please don't forget to follow me on all my platforms, and namaste. I'll see you in the next one.